You sit down for dinner with your child. They happily munch on papad, biscuits, or rusk. But the moment you serve rice, dal, or roti, they push the plate away and start crying. If your child also struggles to ask for things clearly, often pointing or grunting instead of using words, this scene might feel all too familiar. Many parents come to me saying, "Ma'am, my child eats only biscuits and milk, but doesn't talk much either." Could both be connected? Yes, sometimes they are. And understanding that connection can truly make all the difference in helping your child thrive. Welcome to Beyond Words with Indu, a space for parenting, self care, and supporting every child, including those with special needs. I am Indu, speech therapist, feeding therapist, parenting coach, and mom of two. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our tips on parenting. Today, in episode 10 of our Mealtime series, we are diving into something that surprises many parents: the link between picky eating and late talking. Now, let's get started. Do you know that feeding and speech actually use the same muscles? Your child's tongue, lips, jaw, or even cheeks are working whether they are chewing rice or saying amma. So, if your child avoids chewy food, spits out certain textures, or only prefers soft or melt in mouth foods, those oral muscles don't get enough practice. And that can show up in speech too. They might talk less, speak unclearly, or struggle to make some sounds like t, d, l, n, or r that need good tongue control. Now let's see some of the common everyday signs that you might notice. Let me describe what parents usually tell me in session you might relate to. He eats only 2 to 3 foods, mostly biscuits, curd rice, and milk. She doesn't chew chapati, just swallows it. He gags if I give fruits or vegetables. She takes forever to finish one small meal. He drools sometimes, that is the saliva coming out of the mouth without control, even though he is 3 or 4. She doesn't try to repeat new words much. If you're nodding along to a few of these, it's not just coincidence. These could be signs that your child's oral motor system, the muscles used for eating and speaking, need some support. So, why it happens? Sometimes it is sensory. The child's brain might feel certain textures like sticky rice or lumpy dal overwhelming. Sometimes it is motor. The muscles might not be strong or coordinated enough to chew or move food around the mouth. And sometimes it is behavioral. If mealtimes have become stressful, the child may start refusing food as a way to avoid discomfort or control the situation. So, when you see picky eating and late talking together, it's usually not stubbornness, it's a signal that your child needs a bit extra support. Now, let's see what conditions can affect both. For example, a tongue tie where the little band under the tongue is tight can make both feeding and speech tricky. Or a child with low muscle tone, what we call it as hypotonia, may find it tiring to chew food or also find speech unclear or effortful. Even reflux, frequent ear infections, or lack of oral exploration in infancy can contribute to both. So, it's not just about eating habits, it's about how your child's body and brain are working together. Now, let's see who can help with this. If your child struggles with both feeding and speech, that's a good time to see a speech language pathologist or SLP, someone like me. We look at oral motor strength, the tongue movement, and chewing patterns, and teach kids fun, playful exercises to build those muscles. If we notice that the child is hypersensitive to textures or touch, we bring in occupational therapists. They work on sensory regulation and help kids tolerate different textures through sensory play. And if the mealtime struggles feel emotional, like anxiety, control, or tantrums, Psychologists support both the child and parent with behavior-based guidance and routines. As feeding therapists, we actually bring all of this together: the sensory part, the behavior part, and the oromotor part. We look at the whole child, not just one area, to help them feel comfortable, confident, and happy with food. Now, what can you do at home? Here are a few simple things you can start doing at home. Encourage your child to chew age appropriate food: soft roti, small pieces of fruits, steamed veggies. Offer texture variety instead of only mashed or blended food. Try oral play like blowing bubbles, sipping through a straw, licking from a spoon, or blowing a whistle. These are fun and secretly strengthen speech muscles. Talk during mealtime. Name the food. Describe the taste and texture. Carrot is crunchy, rice is soft. Most importantly, keep mealtimes pressure free. Avoid forcing food. Instead, model eating. Let your child see you enjoy eating food. So, to sum it up, the mouth is not just for eating or speaking, it's where both begin. When a child struggles to chew, bite, or tolerate textures, it often affects how clearly they talk to. Supporting feeding is not separate from supporting speech. They go hand in hand. And with early help, we can strengthen both. Now, when to seek help? If your child is over 2 years old, eats less than 5 to 6 types of food, or still hasn't started using clear words or short sentences, it's time to get an evaluation. Early support makes a world of difference. The earlier we intervene, the faster meal times and talking improve together. So yes, picky eating and late talking often go hand in hand because they share the same building blocks. Feeding therapy doesn't just make mealtime easier, it strengthens the foundation for speech. If you missed our last episode on behavior versus sensory eating challenges, go check it out after this. It will help you understand what's really driving your child's food refusal. In our next episode, we are diving into feeding therapy, what really happens in an assessment, what we look for, and how therapy actually helps your child to eat better. If you're a parent who have ever worried about your child's eating, don't miss this one. We'll break down the research and what it means for your child. If this video helped you, please like, share it with parents who need this, and subscribe to Beyond Words with Indu for more parenting tips. Let's raise a generation of healthy, happy kids inside and out and make mealtime joyful again. Stay tuned.